Hello and welcome to the Essential Being podcast with myself, your host, Jolene Whiting. I have been a pole dance teacher for nearly 20 years. I'm also a yoga instructor, and my favourite pastimes are connecting to my own sensuality, connecting with the world, and connecting with animals as well. In this podcast, you'll find new and inventive ways of how you see yourself, connecting yourself with others, and also how you see and view the world around you. In this episode, we talk about the phrase, you only live once, talking about the mindset that goes alongside that at the same time as looking after yourself and your body in our world of modern day marketing around food. You are what you eat. Oh, I can't be the only one who has heard this. But it's kind of one of those things where the words have just kind of lost all meaning. Oh, you are what you eat. What, am I going to be a chip? What does that mean? Things like this stem back quite far. And I think at one point they had their meaning and now they've lost their meaning. And now I'm going to try and regain it back for you in my way. So you are what you eat. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be a chip if you eat a chip, but it's the mood that can get created by the food that you eat. So we want our gut health to be as good as possible. I also know real life gets in the way and we want to actually live our life, or maybe you want to have a drink or something. I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't eat. I'm just here to give you a perspective on how what you eat can actually change and affect your mood, like big time. So serotonin is made in the gut. Yeah. So that is what's going to make you happy. So we want more of that. Now, it can take only if you change what you eat. I'm going to try hard not to use the word diet, but if I use the word diet, I'm just referring to the food and drink that you consume. I'm not talking about trying to go on like some dieting scheme or anything like that, okay? So just be aware of my wording if I happen to slip up and use the word diet. Ugh, don't like that word. So it can take only, are you ready for this? How many days do you think it can take to change the microbiome, which is in your gut? This is how everything is processed in your gut. How many days do you think you would need to do to change that, to change your happiness levels, to change your mood? 3 days. I'm not saying once you've done 3 days you don't do anymore. That is not what I'm saying. 3 days. That's not a lot. That's not a lot of time to give yourself to make a change. I mean, I know people say, the first 2 weeks of doing something is hard. The first 21 days to change a habit and things like that. And that's all true. I'm not saying that after 3 days it'd be plain sailing. But what I'm saying is you will feel different in yourself after 3 days. Who wouldn't want that? Oh my God. You got to remember that we are bombarded with ultra processed foods. Yeah. And they are labeled as good for you. And I was listening to something yesterday and it was so informative. I had to come on and talk to you about my take on it because it was so good. That good. I need to share some of it with you. So there was a study done on, I forgot who it is. I want to say FDA, but it's not FDA. It wasn't that. On like the little labels that go on the front of food. This was American, so their labels are a bit different to ours. But we have a bit of a red, green, amber traffic light system on our food with like how much fat and how much sugar and things, right? So get this. So eggs, which are just a simple food, but because they have cholesterol in them, they were marked down. Now, our bodies do need cholesterol, okay? So please do your research on that because we do need cholesterol. But they were marked down, yeah? And something that got marked above them, because it didn't have cholesterol, was Cheerios. I'm sorry, Cheerios is not food. Yes, it's yummy. And I do not buy cereal because I cannot be trusted with it because, I just eat the whole box, probably including the cardboard box. So I don't buy cereal anymore because the stuff that they put in it is so addictive with cereals. So you got to think, we live in a world where the things that are getting marketed out and pushed out to you have that sort of study done. Oh, eggs, bad for you, got cholesterol in. Cheerios, however, very good for you. You do not need to be a rocket scientist to work out that is bull. It's complete bull. If you don't agree with me, then it's fair play. But this is just coming from me. I just think, oh my God, this is the world we live in. So there was a study done with mice, because obviously they're so close to humans. But anyway, with mice. And they were given Oreos or cocaine. Yeah, they had the choice. Which one do you think they went for? Rather than cocaine, they went for the Oreos. Oh my God. I'm just... So they were so addicted to these Oreos over having cocaine. And you just think, wow, okay, this is all getting a little bit weird. And Oreos, however, are much easier to score than cocaine is. You can just pop to your local petrol station and pick some up at whatever time. It's very much socially acceptable to have an Oreo. Yeah. So again, think about this sort of thing. The things that are being put on the shelves in front of us. I've started now to change how I look at shopping for my food, because I find I'm not perfect, nobody is. It's hard to do everything when you know this sort of information and all about seed oils and things, and you think, I'm going to try and eat better. I've turned it into, when I'm trying to look for new things that I could eat that isn't going to upset my system and my mind and my future, I tell myself, I'm going on a food quest. So I'll go into a big supermarket and I'm on a food quest now. And sometimes I'm in the mood to do it and I'm in the mood to look at labels. And then other times I'm not, because it's too much of a headache. So there'll be certain times, particularly certain times in my month, that I can do that, and certain times that I just can't. The world's too big, it's too much, I just can't. But then when the world doesn't feel like it's too much, that's when I try and do it. So I look at these sort of foods and I think, no, I'm not eating that. I don't want your Cheerios. I don't want your Oreos. I don't want to feel like that after eating food. I don't want all these things going on inside me and affecting my mood. Now, we live in a culture of, have you heard of YOLO? You only live once. YOLO. So, YOLO... Now I live by this and I don't at the same time, because you only live once. Now I did go through quite a phase of doing this and I was like, I don't care, just have the happy meal. You only live once, as long as everything in moderation. Now, I'm not disagreeing with the term everything in moderation, but it's not the case of, if I have a McDonald's Happy Meal, it could knock some time off my life. It could knock my mood. And I know it's called a Happy Meal, but I'm sorry, the stuff that's in that is not food. That is not food. And to call it a Happy Meal just really plays on your emotions. I mean, McDonald's, bravo there, bravo. I will refrain from calling them what I want to call them right now, but there you go. Anyway, so to have something like a Happy Meal, that's not food. And you think, you only live once, have the cake. And I'm like, yeah, have the cake. Have cake that maybe my mum has made. Have cake that maybe, I love Travelling Cupcake. Have cake maybe Travelling Cupcake is made that day. Don't go and have the cake off the shelf that has loads of stuff in it, maybe loads of E numbers too, packed for preservatives to give it a longer shelf life and to give it the right look on the shelf as well. Don't have that one. So yes, you only live once. Yeah, everything in moderation. As long as you haven't got any major issues with certain things that you can and can't eat, yeah, have the cake. But which cake are you going to have? Where is it being made? How fresh is it? Did you make it? Go get the ingredients yourself. Have an adventure. Make it yourself. This is the sort of thing that we need to be looking at more. And particularly because food can change your mental state, and food can be social, and because of the whole conditioning behind food, it can be a minefield for how we actually go through and eat our food. It's a mind game. Yeah. And the people putting out these things like Oreos and Cheerios, I picked on them today, on your Happy Meals, they are playing on you. You are their prey. Yeah. They're trying to get you, but you don't have to let them. And you can still do you only live once. You can still live by that. Now, there's a lot of stuff in food that actually triggers storing fat, creating more fat in your body, and things like Oreos have this in. Now, there's like I say, this is a minefield. Yeah, it's a mind game. It's a minefield. I want you, and I don't care whether you agree with me or not, I want you with this to own your body. Yeah. Own it, respect it, because it has got you this far in life. That is incredible. I don't care what you look like or how you feel right now. That on its own is incredible. Incredible. You have got the same heart that you had when you were born. Before you were born, because you had your heart before you were born. That is amazing. Now, with me saying that, you may be sitting there thinking, whoa, she's right. Oh my God, I don't really think about this, yeah? As soon as you start tapping into that feeling of respect and appreciation for your body, how it is in this moment, right now, I don't care what you've got going on, but you're tapping into this feeling of respect for yourself. Yeah, deep, deep respect. And I respect you too, because you've got this far in life. And that is amazing. Now, I want you to take that feeling, and whatever you do with it, however you do this, I want you to look after your body. It may be looking at some of the things I've said to you today. You might have already known them. You might be like, yeah, Jolene, I know those things. Yeah, I know more things than that. Great. Share them with me. But great. I want you to try and look after your body now. Not looking after it now for the future, as in like, oh, well, I'll have a longer life if I eat this, that, and the other, which is great. Not saying don't do that. I want you to look after it now for now. Now is the moment that we all have. If you want to pick up your mood, look after yourself, your mind, your body, your wellness, you can do that now with what you eat. You can do that with your next meal. Yeah? You have a lot more control than you realize, even around food, which can be very hard sometimes to have that control. But you actually do. You have the ability to make a choice. So it is down to you how you choose to take this, but just make sure that you are owning your body exactly as it is right now. You come at your body with respect, and that is all I'm asking that you definitely do in this moment. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Remember to lead with your heart and to live with intention. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please do share it with your friends and on social media. If you have the time to rate or review this podcast, I'd be ever so grateful. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Jolene Sensual Being. The links to my YouTube and to sign up to my mailing list will be in the show notes as well. I look forward to speaking with you again very soon.